Hi, so I'm going to look at some U1A7 work. So I think the way I'll do it is actually look at the content from the text, or from the class, and work on the side and do some of the questions by hand. So we start off here with it's part 2 of the exponent rules. So it's called U1A Activity 7. I've got the power, solve and get involved, blah, blah, blah. Zero exponent. So some of the rules here, zero exponent, if we work off, I think this makes a lot of sense here. If we work off our exponent rules, if you have anything over itself, so for example, if I have 2 over 2, we know that that is, if I divide two things by 2, I have 1. So if I have x over x in general, it's equal to 1. So if I have 3 to the 7 over 3 to the 7, that's equal to 1. And now we're going to look at the exponent rules here to figure out how this works with the exponents. This is dividing 3 to the 7 divided by 3 to the 7. So when you divide, you subtract the exponents. So that's the same as saying 3 to the 7 minus 7 up here as the exponent, which 7 subtract 7 is 0. And then you notice that 3 to the 0 is, in fact, 1. Okay, so anything to the power of 0, anything to the 0, that's anything, I guess. X to the 0 is equal to 1. That's our rule. X to the 0 is equal to 1. And that includes things like this, 3 squared. Even if I have this and I put a 0 here, think about this. Actually, we'll get to the power rules here, but anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Negative also. So negative 6 to the 0 is 1. But let's be careful here. This is not that question. This is the negative. Remember we talked about last video, negative of 6 to the 0. So it's the negative of 1. Okay, so this is negative 1. All right, so that's the first rule. The second rule is the power of the power rule. So we looked at the multiplying rule. When you multiply exponents with the same bases, you add the exponents. When you divide, you subtract. And when you have a power, you multiply. So I like to think of it as you go down one level of operations, kind of. What is going on here? Let me add. Come on, new page. No? Okay, let's just clean this up then. Okay, so what that means is if you have a, or let's say x a to the b, this is the general rule. So x to the a to the b, that is equal to x a times b. So 2 cubed squared is equal to 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And let's prove that for a second. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. And you're saying square that, which means multiply that by itself. So I have this 2 times 2 times 2. And now it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which you could just erase the brackets and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2's, which is 2 to the 6, which is your answer. Okay, so that is the power of the power rule. So let's look at this. 3 to the 5 to the 6. That would be 3 to the 30, and throw it in the calculator, figure out what that is. It works with variables too. So a squared to the 5 is a to the 2 times 5, which is a to the 10. And that's it. Okay, the only other thing I wanted to do today was to substitute. So when you have an equation, some of you are used to doing this, some of you have done more than others. But if I have something like this, evaluate something. So if I have, x plus 2 is equal to, or sorry, x plus 2 is my statement, and I want to find this when x is equal to 1. What you do is anywhere you have an x, you put a 1, so it would be 1 plus 2, which is 3. And it's the same with exponent rules. If I have 3 to the x, and I want to figure out what that is when x is equal to 2, well, that's 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, which is 9. Or if my variable is in the base, not the exponent, so if I have something like this, x cubed minus 1, and evaluate that when x is equal to, I don't know, 7, then I would say that's 7 cubed and find out what that is and subtract 1, and there's your answer. Okay, so that's substituting, and that's it. So key points today are the following. Anything to the 0 is 1, and if you have something to an exponent and you have a power, so a power of a power, when you are putting an exponent to an exponent, the rule is that you multiply those two exponents to figure that out. Okay. You also notice this x a to the b is x a b, and it's the same as the other way around, x b to the a. Let me just show you quickly what that's all about. how that makes sense. So let's just do this in red here. So I had that 2 to the 3 to the 2, and I found out that was 2 to the 6, right? Well, let's do it the other way around. 2 squared cubed. Okay, so 2, and let's evaluate that. That should be 2 to the 6 also, right? 2 times 3 to 6. But that's 2 times 2 cubed means times that by itself 2 more times, and that is again 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 6 of them, 2 to the 6. Okay, so that's it. Power. You have a quiz on this stuff. Play around with it. You can add things in. Okay, so when there's more than one step, so for example, if there's an extra, sorry, crazy stuff going on here. If there's an extra, I don't know why that's doing that. If there's an extra step in there, the rules apply. So let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Let's just delete all this stuff here. I can't do that either. Technical difficulties. I refuse to start again though. So let's keep going here. If I have something like this, 3 cubed times 3 squared all over 3 to the 4. Okay, this says multiply, so that's 3 multiplying, which means I add the exponents. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and then 3, I'm still over 3 to the 4. It's dividing, so now I subtract, so 5 subtract 4 is 1, and then I evaluate it as 3. Same thing would apply with if I had an exponent. So if I had 2 cubed times 2 to the 5, and I had all that to the 4, I can do it in a couple different steps, but here I would just go, that's 2 to the 3 times 3 plus 5 is 8 to the power of 4, which is 2 to the 4 times 8, 32. Okay. Now, what would happen if I'd done this, if I'd expanded this in first? I could have got 2 to the 12 times 2 to the 20, and if I work that out, well, when I multiply, I add the exponents, I end up with 2 to the 32 also. So the nice thing with exponents is, if you don't break any rules, you can get the answer several different ways. Okay, so enjoy. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Unit 1, A7, quiz coming up. See ya.